Every month, you or your finance team run the same cycle. You pull your data from your sources like your ERP or your data warehouse and then build a variance report in Excel. You then copy that report into PowerPoint, you format the slides, and then send it to a CFO. Great, you're done. But then your CFO asks, why is North America 25% below plan? Alright, so you go back and you dig through the data, you slice by region, by product, and salesperson. And hopefully 3 hours later you have your answer that still took you too long to find. Now, what if AI could do this entire cycle for you? You just upload your data and you'd get a full dashboard with variance analysis already done. And then you just chat with your data. You just ask, why is North America below plan? And you'd get the answer in seconds. My name is Mattia Priadel, and I am an IBCS certified consultant here at Zebra BI. And in the next few minutes, we'll show you exactly how to do this live with real data. 3 use cases of automated dashboards, ad hoc variance analysis, and turning all of that into board-ready slides with just one click.
As an FP&A professional, you're probably working in Excel, right? Still creating lots of Excel spreadsheets, calculations and what if analysis and so on, right? Basically technology from the 80s, but it's still the backbone of data analysis in FP&A. Add to that manual creation of various types of slide decks for meetings, for board meetings, as material for decision making, and so on. And the reality right now is that in basically every company, there are still those two parallel worlds, two separate tracks or swim lanes where FP&A and financial professionals are still working in Excel and still doing manual PowerPoint slides, while a lot of standardized, governed reports have been automated, are being updated on a daily basis and helped solve the reporting use case. But those reports are static. They don't change from day to day, from month to month. We do call the old world because the AI revolution has happened. Of course, the adoption is not there, but we have entered a new world where the data is being consolidated, integrated. Basically, you can go from your data to the insight in one go. This is the new world now. AI agents will be creating dashboards for us, reports for us. They will allow you as FP&A professionals to explore the data in the natural language, to do the analysis, do the deep dives, do the scenario planning, benchmarking, what if analysis, and all the variance analysis, everything that you do on a daily basis, monthly basis, weekly basis, and then collaborate around this, create boarding packs automatically out of it, again with the help of AI. AI technology has the right kind of properties, massive processing power far beyond human capacity, advanced pattern recognition with different types of AI methods, to the point where arguably we could call it reasoning. And all that, of course, if done correctly, can lead to massive cost reduction and extreme efficiency. The latest sort of trend in AI is also to move from tools basically to actually agents and workflows. So which means even more automation, because an agent can actually do work for you. And maybe the fifth big reason is also accessibility, because the user interface with AI today, it's in natural language. So basically now you can talk to your data, you can talk to AI, which is basically ultimately user friendly. You just work using your natural language, which is great. The number one ingredient and number one prerequisite for efficient AI in FP&A, it's unified, validated data. Teams who are successful in adopting AI, they have strategies in place to consolidate the data. AI won't work if you just upload some PDF documents or messy Excel reports, formatted reports into AI. AI is not magic. AI needs proper data with long data series extracted from ERP systems or data warehouses and so on. So much more focus on clean and validated data that is ready for AI. This is what I'm going to be talking today about, and I will present the state of this technology today with 3 clear use cases, very practical, and I'll do it live with Zebra AI service to give you some inspiration, but also to explain how exactly you should go about it. We'll dive into those 3 use cases. So first, AI-driven business dashboards, how you can create dashboards from raw data, basically, in one go with AI. And then in the second step, ad hoc analysis, scenario planning, variance analysis. What you can do, what can you do today, what works reliably, and what is tricky, and what does not work. And then the last part will be just automating some basic tasks that take a lot of time today, where AI can absolutely help you be much more productive, like creating slides for board meetings. All right, let's head over to zebraai.com. So this is the service that we have created. There's a free plan and there's a free trial as well, so you can do the same things as I'm doing right now. Let's start with a sales demo. So I'll just upload a file. Let's do a sales demo. I just upload a very typical file with some sales data that was exported from an ERP system. So as you see, we have just some dates. Then we have some products, some customers, salespersons, business units, regions and countries and so on. And then, of course, we also have a couple of metrics like my revenue, so gross profit and the revenue and gross profit, basically, and the costs and cost plan. Okay, so just typical sales data with some costs. All right, and let's just hit analyze here and let AI do its thing. Now, AI started processing. First of all, it can detect the domain of the data. Of course, this is the sales domain. It's likely about tracking sales transactions across various products and customers, detailing aspects such as revenue, cost, profit, and so on. So it's understood the data quite well. And now it starts thinking about, what kind of analysis would be interesting? Okay, identifying trends in product sales over time, comparing performance across different regions, and so on. And now it already started planning a dashboard. So after it understands the data, it will actually spit out a complete dashboard with several charts. So we have actually four visuals here. We have a chart, like a monthly trend chart here. Of course, you can, with the Zebra BI visuals running inside, so you can have different types of visualizations here. And it also returned 3 different tables. So let's take a closer look now. So we have this is a regional breakdown, okay, by regions, North America, Europe. So something going on with North America, very much below the plan, and also negative growth, like 25% and so on. Let's just check what were the actual values. All right. So it's actually the biggest region, right? And it has it has the biggest negative variance versus plan, negative growth, and so on. So, all right, we'll definitely explore this one further. Now, let's start exploring. All right, so the like first type of analysis is this like why, okay, get to the bottom of certain things. Just this root cause analysis, a deeper variance analysis. Let's check this, check the North America. So in September, so looks like both United States and Canada are below the plan. Yeah, this variance is much bigger, but also in relative terms, like 30%, right? So it's definitely US. And now you have the breakdown also by some product categories. All right, so it's basically US and the variables business unit. Like you could maybe highlight this or something. Let's just put it in, just use bold here. This is just for your analysis. Yeah, and also like this product. All right, okay, that's what actually it was telling me right in the beginning. But then it also, it created like a top, like a, what is this, like top 20 products analysis of the products versus previous year and plan, right? So it actually calculated all the variances and did all this analysis, and it has analyzed it and remembered it, right? So it does have this knowledge now. And okay, it's the product that was highlighted here. So again, it's exactly this product, but we also know it's in United States and variables, right? So basically, in just one simple question, we got to the bottom. Of course, so let's try to do a different example, a completely an ad hoc analysis of something that was not even pinpointed in the original dashboard. Let's just ask it to provide some sort of benchmarking table of the salespeople versus their plan. Let's go for that. All right, boom. Oh, it's done. All right. Then show you the top and bottom perform. Okay, so basically I got my results. So these are the salespeople. The salespeople here in a table versus plan achievement. Basically, their performance is calculated here. So the variance to plan is here. Also, the relative variance to plan, it's all here. And I asked about September 2022. So it's all there, right? But on top of that, it's also giving me my top performance exceeded the target and then below target. All right, so that's great. Let's take just different data this time. So let's do some cost management. Some cost versus budget. This time I have some accounts, general ledger, GL accounts grouped into certain groups. I have cost centers, and it understood that it has a negative impact, right? Because these are costs, expenses, right? AI actually understood that, okay, let's just hit analyze. And as you see now, if you look closely, the colors are inverted, right? So now this part here is red. So we have a problem of overspending in our marketing. So basically the AI agent understood, all right, these are costs, if you overspend, it has a negative impact on the business. So it inverted the colors automatically, right? In Zebra AI, why is it working well, and why AI does not equal LLM, right? Because in order for an AI agent to really help you with mission critical tasks and data in FP&A, you cannot just use ChatGPT. The agent needs to have specific tools that it is using. So not inventing, some variances, but actually needs to understand the data, select the right data, and then use this selection as an input into a variance analysis tool that the AI agent is using, right? So this is basically the recipe for quality AI agent that does not hallucinate, right? It needs a lot of tools.